What's up, y'all? It's Schmidt,
Yo, what's up, Vaughn?
It's Pop.
and it's SVP Sports.
All right, today we're gonna be touching on East and West predictions. Who's coming out of the East and West? Some underdogs. After that, we're gonna do some award predictions. You know, your MVP, Defensive Player of the Year. We're gonna see what's up with that, and let's get into the vid. So, who wanna go first? Who wanna get their predictions first?
I'll go first.
All right, bet.
So I'm gonna do West and I'm gonna do East. So all right. So with my predictions, I'm not gonna basically say who I want to win, who I want to win. It's basically gonna be just heart and mind, just who I think has the best chance to win. Obviously. So coming out of the West, if it's me and I want to bet my money on it, I'm gonna be honest. I want LeBron to win, and if I have to bet my money, I don't think I can bet against LeBron, but it's just something with my heart and my mind telling me that not even my heart, it's just my mind. Just the roster of the Clippers, I don't know, bro. So for the West, I'm gonna just say the Clippers, but I can easily see the Lakers. So come out of the West, I'm gonna put the Clippers. And I'm gonna throw in a dark horse for the West. A dark horse for the West is OKC. I would say the Mavericks, but it's really OKC. They're extremely good. I don't know what it is. Well, I know what it is. They have a bunch of players that know their role and they're doing it to the T. So that's my dark horse for the West. So I got the Clippers coming out, and I have a dark horse as the OKC. So in the East, I'm a Sixers fan, right? But I'm not gonna be that Sixers fan that's gonna lie and be delusional. So everybody's gonna say the Bucks, but I honestly don't believe the Bucks are the best team. They have the best record in the league, but I don't believe they're the best team in the league. I honestly don't believe they're like the third. I think they're the third best team in the league. But in the East, I think the Raptors are the best team in the East, and I think the Raptors are gonna come out. Now, my dark horse is obviously gonna be Philly. It all depends on how we play. It just all depends on what version of Philly you get. So that's my dark horse. It's Philly, obviously. But if I'm betting on my bottom line, it's gonna be a Raptors, I think, coming out of the East. So for the West, you got the Clippers. For the East, you got the Raptors.
Pretty fair. Pretty fair. All right, now we'll hear from you, Schmidt. What's your prediction?
I'm gonna go East and West. So, my prediction for the East, I'm gonna choose the Bucks. If not the Bucks, the Sixers are third down on my list for who might come out. It would be the Bucks, then the Raptors, and then the Sixers. I say the Bucks because they're gonna be extremely hard to stop and extremely hard to coach against. They have one of the most dominant players in the league, if not the most dominant players in the league. Pushing their point guard. He can also guard five positions, and we all know who I'm talking about. Giannis Antetokounmpo. He forces you to pack the paint, but then they have shooters around him who can hit shots, which also forces you to play the three ball at the same time. So, coming out of the West, I said the West. Coming out of the East, I think it's gonna be the Bucks, just because of how they can confuse defenses and force teams to make tough decisions on the defensive side and on the offensive side because they can also defend the ball.
Sure.
Now, when it comes to the West, I'm gonna go with the best duo in the West, which is LeBron and AD. Now, although the Clippers roster is extremely deep, you got so many people off the bench for the Clippers that can produce. Lou Will, Montrezl Harrell, but the Lakers, they got the best player to ever touch a basketball. They got the most dominant power forward in the NBA. They got a bunch of role players who play their role and who can do what they need to do in order for the team to win.
I mean, pretty fair. Pretty fair. I think all of us have similar predictions, so I'm gonna give my West prediction as non-biased as possible. my West prediction is obviously the Lakers. The Lakers are the better team when it comes in the playoffs. You know, LeBron, his whole career has been known to just elevate his game in the playoffs. We see him in the regular season right now. He's not the LeBron he is, but for anybody else, he's having a spectacular season. But he always elevates himself in the playoffs. And, you know, AD just had 40 points. You know, he can always give you that mismatch because he's not just a regular four. He can play around the perimeter. He can hit his shots. He's an excellent, excellent free throw shooter. Never seen a big man shoot free throws like him. So that's always something you got to put into the mix. And then Rondo will be back probably by the playoffs, which adds a little bit more defense, you know, a little bit more playmaking. But you got players like Caruso, KCP, you know, JR shooter, you know, Deion Waiters adds a little bit more scoring. You know, he got that clutch gene. So I think the Lakers are the favorite out of the West. Now, my dark horse is definitely OKC. I could not have picked any other team to make it out of the West. That's not the Lakers and Clippers, and it not be OKC. OKC has been amazing this season. Chris Paul has probably had his best season ever, if I'm not mistaken, best season ever. You got Dennis Schroeder, who is having a crazy season. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, who really blossomed into the player we all knew he could be, seeing him at Kentucky. So then you got Steven Adams down low. Steven Adams is willing to do whatever it takes for his team to win. So I think that's the favorite, and then that's the underdog. And then my East predictions, this is where it gets a little different. I got my Raptors up top. I got Raptors up top as the favorites. They got the best guards in the East. They got probably a top two front court in the East with Siakam, Marc Gasol, and Anunoby. They also have the best coach in the league, Nick Nurse. There's no question about it. He lost Kawhi, still same record. So I think those are the clear favorites. Everybody says the Bucks. You know, they got the best record. They got Giannis, MVP favorite, but I think the Raptors edge the Bucks out. And then my dark horse is going to be the Heat. Now, some people are looking at the Heat winning. Some people aren't looking at the Heat winning, but I definitely think they have to be kept in mind. You know, they have scorers everywhere, shooters everywhere. And they have a pretty good coach in Eric Spoelstra. He's got some championship experience. He's got 3 rings. You got Bam Adebayo, who probably played the best defense I've seen on Giannis since Kawhi. Jimmy Butler, a known closer. He's got some playoff experience. You got Dragic, you know, some older players. So I think they are definitely the underdog to come out of the East. We're going to go on to our award predictions. This is when things could get a little shaky. Mostly everybody has the same West predictions. Mostly everybody has around the same East predictions. But these awards is when things can get a little controversial when it comes to MVP, when it comes to Defensive Player of the Year. You know, things can get a little controversial on this topic. There's a lot of good favorites this season, a lot of people who are having seasons that can determine them as the best player for the award. But I want to hear from y'all first. Who's going first?
All right, I'll start off. So first I'm gonna do MVP. And I just want to make it clear to everybody, the way I'm determining who I'm thinking is gonna win MVP, Rookie of the Year, whatever, it's just basically just say if I had a vote, who I'm voting for. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying who. We're not really predicting who's going to win. We're just basically saying who we think should win. Okay. So now as I said, MVP, if I had to put a vote in, I'm putting in for LeBron. I don't know if I really have to explain this. I'm pretty sure there's a bunch of people that agree with me, but what LeBron is doing at his age for this team is just, it's unbelievable. I know Giannis is better in all the statistics and everything, but the status of the name is most valuable player. So that means is to his team, what does he mean to his team? And I honestly believe LeBron off the Lakers, they might be fighting for an AFC. Kawhi off the Giannis off the Milwaukee Bucks, I believe they're 6, 7, 8 in their lockable. I believe that team is built way better than the Lakers team without LeBron. Even though y'all have AD, but honestly, after AD, who is your next star? And I know with the Milwaukee Bucks, they just have Giannis and I guess Chris Middleton. But I think their team is just so much more deeper than just Giannis because they have a bunch of role players and a bunch of young thoroughbreds off their bench that know what they're doing. And the Lakers are just it's honestly an older roster because y'all on a win mode mentality. But MVP, I think, is LeBron. So next, defensive player of the year. So this is who I would vote for if I had a vote. I'm tired of seeing Rudy Gobert win. I don't think he should have ever, like, I don't know. Maybe it's just me. I don't think he should have ever won that award. Maybe the first time he won it, but after that, it's over with. But my vote will go for, I know it might sound a little biased, but I believe Ben Simmons should get more votes than I think he's going to. I don't think he's going to get that many votes, but I will vote for Ben Simmons. He literally can guard 1 through the 5. This season, he has, I think it's either first or second, the most time guarding every position in the court than anybody. It's either tied for first or he's in second. So that means that on the court, he guards everybody on the floor for a good amount of time throughout the game all season. So he's just versatile. He can guard the point guard, the shooting guard, the small forward, the power forward, the center. And he can do it well and efficiently. So that's where my vote will come, possibly because I'm a Sixers fan, but also because he's a really great defender. So next, I'm going to do Sixth Man of the Year. I believe Dennis Schroeder should win this award. He's the main reason too why the OKC team is what they are. They have him come off the bench, and he's averaging about what is he averaging about 19? I think
18, yeah, 19
right,
points,
yeah. It's around 18, 19 points. So he's come off the bench and he's doing it really efficiently too. That's one thing. 19 points off the bench and he's shooting high 40% field goal and three might be 37 or something. But he's doing it really efficiently. 39, all right, that's really good. So Sixth Man, I believe Dennis Schroeder. So then we're gonna do Rookie of the Year. I believe it should be Zion. No, I'm just kidding. It's Ja Morant. If Zion, I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna be honest. I don't think Zion should get. I'm not gonna say he shouldn't get no votes, but it should be 100% lock Ja Morant. No one had that Memphis team nowhere near the playoffs. People probably didn't think they were gonna win 20 to 15 games, and they're in the AFC right now. As of right now, they're still in the AFC, and I think that they're going to secure it. Even if they don't. Still, we've seen a whole season of Ja Morant. We've seen how many games with Zion right now so far has it been? What?
It's 2019, 20.
A very little sample size, and we've seen in the past couple games that he's played 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes here. No. So Rookie of the Year is Ja Morant all the way. It's not a debate. To me, it's not a debate.
He has to get more votes than Zion. That's just my opinion, though.
You said who can do none?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll be honest, I would too. It's just to rant for a second.
So small amount of games.
Yeah, just a rant for a second. The year Joel Embiid should have won Rookie of the Year, and they gave it to Malcolm Brogdon, is because he didn't play enough games. And Joel Embiid should have definitely won that Rookie of the Year because Malcolm Brogdon won that, and his stats were nowhere near Joel's. So it should be the same thing with Zion.
11, 3, and 4 or something like that.
Yeah, and Joel had way better than that. So the same rule should apply with Zion. He didn't play enough games. We've seen Ja Morant all year. Okay, off that. Now I'm gonna do Coach of the Year. Coach of the Year, I believe, should be Billy Donovan. This OKC team is really they're just. And I'm crazy right now. everybody. Wait, Harold, if you agree with me, you had OKC as your dark horse. It's because of Chris Paul, it's because of Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Danilo Gallinari. But you got to remember, the coach is the people. He's the person that gets the team to run together and flow together. And they're in the 6th seed right now, tied for 5th, I think. They're really close in 6th through 4th, whatever. They can get anywhere between those spots. So I might sound crazy for saying Billy Donovan, but I feel like he's done a great job with that team. And obviously, no one expected when Russell Westbrook got traded with Paul George. Everybody said they're not making the playoffs. Am I right? Just the same thing with Memphis Grizzlies. Oh, OKC's not making the playoffs, and they're in the West, and they're tied. I think they're 5th, and they can get to 6th. They're tied somewhere between 6th to 5th, whatever. But
right now,
yeah, 6th right now, and either tied for 5th or like one game from getting 5th. But I'm gonna say Billy Donovan. That's just me.
I'm gonna clear the air. When I laughed, it was because when you said Billy Donovan, I thought about All American and Coach Billy. That's why I laughed. But all right. So my predictions or who I think should win MVP is, of course, I think all three of us are gonna agree on LeBron James. To be in your 17th season and to be able to dominate how he's dominating. Like it's like he hasn't lost anything besides the athleticism and him not being as fast as he was. He just proven to everybody that he don't need his athleticism to be good. He don't need his athleticism to lead his team. He don't need his athleticism to just be an all around leader and to make everybody around him better. So although he's old and like he's in his 17th season, was he averaging 25, 8 and 8 or whatever before the bubble.
Yeah.
So whatever he's averaging is close to a triple double. He's in the 17th season, and he's just dominating, and he's doing what everybody said that he wasn't gonna do. And then I believe he's gonna go on to win the finals this year, which should absolutely lock him for the MVP. What's the next defensive player you said?
yeah,
Yeah.
Defensive player of the year is Giannis Antetokounmpo. And that's why I say this. Some of the reasons are similar to what Vaughn said about Ben Simmons, but the thing about Giannis is he can guard 1 to 5. His wingspan is longer than my whole house. He's extremely tall. He's unbelievably strong, and you can't just move him out the way. Like he can guard all positions. You can put him on anybody. You can put him on the best player on any team, and he will be able to lock down or contain anybody. That's why I think he should win Defensive Player of the Year. What's next? Rookie. Rookie. Or you did 6 man. You did 6 man.
Yeah, I did 6 man. I did 6 man.
6 man. 6 man of the year is they probably gonna laugh at me for this one, but Lou Will. I know Pop going cringe at that one, but Lou Will, and this is why I say this. So Lou Williams, the year before Kawhi and Paul George got there, he was the leading scorer on their team, right? And of course, after they got there, he dropped to 3rd behind Paul George and Kawhi. But although he dropped in being the leading scorer, his production never changed. He stayed the same. He's still producing the way that he needs to produce. He's still doing everything he needs to do in order for the Clippers to win. To the point where the Clippers are being chosen for the favorite. Not just because of Kawhi and Paul George, but because their roster is so deep and they have key pieces like Lou Williams coming off the bench, doing everything that he can do to make the Clippers win. Lou Williams is a great scorer, and he does what a lot of 6 men of the year are known for not doing, which is scoring the ball. So I think he should be the 6 man of the year. Rookie of the year is nobody that comes in my head besides Ja Morant. I mean, of course Zion, but he didn't play enough. Like he just didn't play enough. He just did not play enough. Like Pop can attest to this. I was Zion all the way. I was a big Zion fan at the beginning of the season. I was like, it was people at our school talking about he wasn't going to average more than 10 points, and I was advocating for him. I'm like, y'all sounds dumb. But because he was injured and he didn't play as many games, it should be Ja Morant just because he's dominating. Like it's as simple as that. He's dominating and he carried his team to the AFC, and like nobody even, like Vaughn said, nobody even expected them to go to the playoffs. So the fact that he's leading his team to the playoffs in his rookie season and doing everything that he's doing, he should win Rookie of the Year, no doubt. Coach of the Year, I'm gonna go with Nick Nurse, and that's because of what Harold said earlier in the video. He lost Kawhi, but his team stayed the same. They didn't decrease. If anything, they got better. Exactly. If anything, they got better. So, although that is the players, there has to be something with the coach there. No doubt about it. He's a great coach. He's leading his team to possibly another finals run. They're a heavy finals contender, and they lost one of the best players in the NBA, and they got better. So that's coaching in my eyes.
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't. My first MVP prediction. My first prediction is MVP. I mean, you could say Giannis. I mean, Kawhi is always there, but he doesn't play enough games. He's always low maintenance.
I can't ever vote for Kawhi for MVP. He doesn't play.
So, just like Vaughn said, if I had a vote, I would no doubt 100% vote for LeBron. The MVP is historically known as a story-based award. That yes, it gets given to the first and second seed, whoever's most valuable to their team, but it's also a very story-based award. And the story this year is LeBron led the Lakers to the first seed after a 5-year playoff drought. Everyone said that after Kobe was gone, we had those years where we were absolutely boo-boo.
R.I.P. Kobe.
Everybody was like, Kobe's the organization. Like nothing without Kobe, blah, blah. We got some young players. We accumulated some picks. We had enough assets to go trade for AD. We traded for AD. We revamped the whole team to be a championship caliber team. And we're the first team to ever get the first seed after missing the playoffs 5 years in a row. And after LeBron's injury last year, I think that just makes the story even sweeter. Like, he really led this team to the first seed. AD was there. Avery Bradley came later in the season after we bought him out. But I think the clear for MVP here is LeBron, and that's no question. Now, this is going to be the third different pick for Defensive Player of the Year. And I'm not biased, but my Defensive Player of the Year is Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis has shown that he's really the second best, you could say first best two-way player in the league. Now, Giannis does play defense, but we don't really know him as a defender. We know him more as just he does everything. AD has been known as a defender his whole career. Ben Simmons, he has the most steals per game in the league. And I do believe that it's important for a Defensive Player of the Year to be able to guard 1 through 5. But Anthony Davis, for his size and his length, for him to be able to guard 1 through 5, for him to be able to lock down the best players in the league, and just for him to be a force on both ends makes him the favorite for Defensive Player of the Year. He is lower in fouls than all the three that were named. He has more blocks, and he's up there in steals as a big man. Big men don't really get steals like that, but he's up there with 1.4, 1.5, 1.6 steals. So I think he is the favorite for Defensive Player of the Year. What was next? Sixth man?
Yeah.
So my pick for Sixth Man of the Year is definitely not Lou Williams. It is for sure Dennis Schroeder. Dennis Schroeder has proven that, he's the best bench player in the league. You got Montrez, you got Lou Will, you got some other bench pieces around the league, but Dennis Schroeder is averaging what we say, 18?
It's like 19. It's like 18.9.
It's like 18.9, yeah.
Yeah,
like 19 points.
He's shooting 46% from the field, which is great. and he's shooting, 37 from three?
Yeah.
And he's averaging out those other stats with a little bit average stats like rebounds and assists. So I think he's the clear pick for a $6 million a year. He is there's so many important pieces on that team. We could go on and on. Chris Paul, Shai Gilgeous, Gallinari, Steven Adams. I think he is really one of the most important pieces on that team. He just is a spark plug for them. And they rely on energy and things like that, even though Billy Donovan has nothing to do with it. What's next? Rookie of the year?
Yeah.
So when it comes to Rookie of the Year, I would say Ja Morant is the clear favorite, but I just don't feel like Kendrick Nunn gets enough love. Kendrick Nunn came into the league with just firepower. Like, nobody knew who he was. Like, he was a very low pick. I don't know if it was low first round or high second round. I'm not sure. But he was definitely a low pick, and he just came into the league just giving everybody buckets. 20 here, 20 here, 20 here, 30 there, 40. I think he had a 40-point game, didn't he, early in the season?
To be honest, I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm not sure either.
But I just know he's just been firing on all cylinders, and he's been really crazy for that Heat team with the amazing guards that they have. So my obvious pick would be Ja Morant, but
okay.
I'm going to go with Kendrick Nunn simply because he does not get enough love, and I love underdogs.
Okay.
So
yeah, he had 40 against the Rockets.
40. He had a 40 ball against Westbrook and Harden and those boys over there. So I think he should get some recognition for Rookie of the Year over Zion, even though Zion is second in the ladder and he's only played 19 games. And of those 19 games, most of them are really just hype. I don't think he's really played like the Zion we know him to be. Like Duke Zion.
He's had games, bro. He's had
his games, but the way the hype around Zion is like, yeah, he's just gonna come in and he's just not gonna be able to be stopped.
And he can't. He's a bully, bro. Period. He's a bully.
Anyway, next prediction, Coach of the Year. It can't be anybody else besides the Toronto Raptors coach, Nick Nurse. When you lose arguably the best player in the league and the best two-way player in the league, and you still somehow keep the same record as the previous year or even better, like it comes down to the point where it's just like they didn't add anybody new. If I'm not mistaken, they didn't add anybody new. It's still really the same team.
Yeah, same team.
They might have added like some bench pieces, but like the core pieces the core pieces are still the same. So, and it's not even just anybody. It's Kawhi Leonard. Kawhi Leonard is just, he brings everything. He's a good passer. His offensive game, he can get you a bucket. He's had his 30s. He's had his 25s and all of them. And he's great on defense. He's the best two-way player in the league, but that didn't faze Nick Nurse. Like, that didn't faze him at all. Like, he's still leading this Raptors team to be a top 2, top 3 seed in the East. So I don't think there's anybody else that it could possibly be. I mean, I guess you could say Billy Donovan. Not a lot of people are saying Billy Donovan.
That's a little underdog pick for me.
Pick, like my Kendrick Nunn pick. But I think Budenholzer, I mean, the Bucks are the best team in the league, but I just don't think that like he means more to the Bucks than Nick Nurse means to the Raptors. He changed the whole culture. I mean, they had Dwayne Casey before. Dwayne Casey was a great coach. But I think Nick Nurse can elevate them to the next level, as he already has. He's
For sure. Got him over
an
the
NBA championship, their first championship in their history, which Dwayne Casey couldn't do. So I think Nick Nurse is the obvious pick for Coach of the Year.
Okay.
So, any rebuttals? Anything else? Anybody want to get out?
I do want to touch on that Zion comment you made, but I don't think I want to get into all that.
Let's get into it.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. So you said he hasn't been playing like the Zion he's hyped up to be. So I'll pull this up here. You know, I'm a stats guy. I love stats.
That's the whole story.
They don't. You're right. But we're gonna touch on this particular 6 to 7 game stretch, right? From February 11th all the way down to March 1st, basically right before the bubble happened, right? 31, 32, 25, 28, 29, 25, 35.
Which are you talking about?
Huh?
What stretch are you talking about? Like, what's the dates?
He said
February 11th to down to March 1st.
Yeah.
Right.
Even before that, he was scoring 20s, 15s, and stuff like that. And then after that, he's also scoring 20s and 15s. So I'm confused on where he's not living up to his hype. When I scroll up here, you know, not only is he scoring points, he's also, of course, contributing on the rebounding side. And most of those rebounds is him just moving people out of the way, grabbing the ball and dunking it. You know, he's just a physical bully. But his problem is he's too heavy for himself, of course. So my question for you is, where is him not being the Zion he's hyped to be?
So coming into the league, he was the number one pick. Usually the number one pick has a lot of media attention. And, you know, this particular number one pick was getting comparisons to LeBron James. And comparisons to LeBron James means something. That means somebody sees something very different in you, because LeBron James is different. But when I think of Zion, I think of just a scoring machine. Yes, he had that stretch of games, but I mean, they weren't really winning as much as they should have. So we talk about players such as, maybe not Devin Booker anymore because they're going into the playoffs, but players like Kemba Walker on the Hornets, who were contributing a lot and were showing their skill, but it wasn't really contributing to wins. Maybe that doesn't have too much to do with Zion, but for me, Zion has always won. In high school, in college, he's always won. And he's always had his 30s, and, you know, Zion's always going to have highlights because he's Zion. Everybody loves Zion. But I just don't – I expect more from Zion. And it's very unfortunate that he got injured, but I think that also plays a part because he's always going to be riddled with injuries and things like that. But I would like to see more winning when Zion plays good. Now, that's not only Zion. That has to do with Lonzo and Brandon Ingram and all those dudes. But I want to see more winning. I want to see the team win when Zion plays good. In that stretch, if I'm not mistaken, they were barely over 500 in that stretch. And let me check his efficiency.
Let me know when you're done so I can get a crack at it.
So his efficiency was pretty good, even though he had a game where he shot 5 for 19. Other than that, his efficiency looks good. He had an 8 for 11.
8 for 11, 7 for 9, 9 for 16.
His efficiency is always going to be good. You can never find really nothing to nitpick about.
Yeah, bro, because he dunks the ball every time. Bro,
yeah.
My thing with Zion
it's
is
like
I'm gonna touch on this before Vaughn go, because it is gonna be quick. I think people compared him to LeBron, not about his skill set, which is about how dominant he is. If I'm not mistaken, when LeBron James entered the league, he was extremely dominant. He dominated from the jump, correct? So what I'm looking at right now is Zion is dominating, bro. Whether he's losing or not, he's dominating, bro. Period. He's not the player that LeBron was when he joined the league. He's not going to carry his team to the finals. He's not going to do that. Of course, he's not LeBron James, but he's extremely dominant. And I think that's why he got the comparisons.
All right, you done?
Yeah.
All right, so I'm gonna just go back to Harold, where he said he wants to see. So that stretch where he had the 30, what was it? In that stretch, he had 30, 29, 28, 20, like stuff like that, right? And they were losing, right? You said barely 500. You gotta remember that in those games, I believe he was still on minute restrictions, doing what he was doing. You gotta think about that. He wasn't even playing 35 minutes a game, I believe.
Yes, he was.
And he was 35 minutes a game? Or which games? All of them?
31 minutes, 25 minutes, 27 minutes. 30.
Wait, I said 35. Where did he play 35 at?
He didn't play 35, but 30 minutes and 29 minutes is still a lot of minutes.
Okay, but 35, he's not playing what LeBron when he came in the league minutes and stuff like that. He's not logging those type of minutes. And you have to remember, when he was playing, they were bringing him in and out of the game. Like he would have 5-minute bursts, 10-minute bursts, and it would bring him out. If I'm not mistaken, his first game where he had four threes?
Yeah, 4.
And he put them in a position to win. They end up losing because they pulled him out. And honestly, I think they would have won if they'd have kept him in. So I'm gonna just say, the winning aspect, I don't think is really. I think it's just his playing time, and which involves in his health. He needs to get healthy so he can stay out there. But I don't think that the losing is really anything to do with Zion.
I did say it's not all on Zion, but LeBron, when his rookie year, his team was nothing compared to what Zion. Zion has an all-star on his team, and he has Lonzo, which is a pretty solid NBA point guard, and he has other good role players around there. You got JJ Redick, experienced veteran. I just want to see more winning when Zion plays good. And maybe that's not all on him, but I still want to see more from Zion. Zion, of course, he's going to put people in awe with his, strength plays, his bully ball, but I still want to see more from Zion. Maybe if he makes the playoffs, I want to see what he does in the playoffs, which the NBA is pushing very hard for. But if he makes the playoffs, I want to see what he does in the playoffs. Maybe that'll sway my opinion.
More in terms of what? What do you need to see more of?
More in terms of where I can actually say that he's proved to me more than Ja Morant has proved to me.
Do you think if he played the whole season, he would have proved that?
It probably would have been different. But he didn't play the whole season. He was injured before the season even started.
Well,
And if I'm not mistaken, did he get injured before the bubble again, or was it Corona?
No, he had family issues.
Yeah.
So what was the
media
for?
He got restriction. He got restriction because he got family issues, and the coach said that he wasn't up to par with what the team was trying to do, and like the game plan and stuff like that. And then Zion said himself that he wasn't used to playing at that speed anymore and playing games at that speed. He didn't adjust to basketball yet. So they no restriction.
So
yeah.
I mean, as a Lakers fan, I don't care if I see the Pelicans in the first round because to me that's all day. But if he makes the playoffs, I want to see what he does, and maybe that'll, in my opinion. But right now, obviously, he's a good player, and he's going to be a great player one day if he stops getting injured. But I still want to see Zion.
Who y'all gonna put on him?
LeBron. Come on, bro.
What did he do to LeBron last time they played? Hold on, let me see something real quick. Let me just check this real quick. Move this out the way.
He's gonna get plenty of defenders thrown at him.
Huh?
So he's gonna get plenty of defenders thrown at him. It's not just LeBron.
Yeah, 30.
8 for
Calm.
18 against the Lakers.
Huh?
8 for
Yeah,
18
30.
against the Lakers the first time, and then 12 for 16. I mean,
All right, bro. Hold on. Wait.
he's
Okay.
lost both times.
Do you agree? When or if, let's say if Zion develops a jump shot,
He has a jump shot. I don't want to hear that.
a knockdown jump shot, a free throw making jump shot.
I mean, when he had 4 threes in a row, everybody was like, "Oh my God, Zion!"
No,
Okay,
no,
because what I'm looking at right
wait.
now, he was 13 for 19 from the free throw line. If he
No.
makes all 6 of those free throws, he scores 35 points. His
There's
free
one
throw
thing.
shooting will make him so much more dominant. Go ahead, my bad, man.
No, you cool. When Hero was like, when he made the 4 threes, everybody was like, oh, no. I remember it was you. It was you for a fact. I remember you posted all in your story. He can't shoot. He has a jump shot. He has a burner,
just said
whatever.
if he develops a jump shot, I said he already has a jump shot.
I know, but then you was like, when he had the 4 threes and everybody was going crazy, and I said, no, don't act like you wasn't a part of that. People going crazy.
Because I like to prove people who don't watch basketball or know about basketball wrong.
Wait, but you don't. After that game, he didn't shoot like that again. You know that, right? It wasn't good after that game. The shooting.
Yeah, all his games was he either didn't shoot or he missed one, and then it was like 2 games where he made one.
Yeah, it was really one game, and that's what I was trying to say. Like I'm like, bro, all right, it's one game. Let's see what happens, and then he's down to earth with the shooting. So Eric is right. He does need to develop a better, consistent jump shot. That first game, I don't know what happened. He came out with the secret stuff. He jumped a little sip, came out and started shooting. But yeah.
Bro, if he increases his free throw percentage to 75, bro, it's at 63 right now.
I'm gonna tell you this, bro. They've been saying that about LeBron his whole career, bro. They've been saying that about LeBron his whole career.
Think about all his 50-point games where he missed 5 or 6 free throws, bro.
Exactly, bro. He's got to improve it, duh. But
it's just points, bro. Remember we was in Vegas and what's the name missed out on the 30-point because he missed free throws. Free throws, the point is important, bro.
Yeah, it's too late, bro. To be honest, Bron's not improving his free throws. Maybe to prolong his career once he's just, not Bron anymore, he's probably just going to just perfect free throws and maybe spot ups. But Bron is the free throw shooter that he's been his whole career. It's sometimes you go in a stretch where he's just going crazy, and then just average after that, kind of below average, middle of the pack.
But Bron is Joakim Noah from the free throw line. Like, nah.
But enough of the LeBron slander. I think that's all for today's video. We talked about our predictions in terms of awards, conference. Did we say NBA champion? I mean, you already know my NBA champion.
I did. I said the Lakers. I think. I don't know. I might have. I don't know.
Who's your NBA champion? I don't think we touched on that.
All right. So when I picked the Clippers coming out of the West, that's just my pick, just based on just team. But so if the Clippers and it's the Raptors, I'm gonna be honest. If the Clippers and Raptors meet, I'm gonna say the Raptors again. But I really don't 100% believe that it's going to just be the Clippers. So if it's the Lakers and Raptors, it's Lakers. So it's just whoever you want to plug in. Clippers versus Raptors, I got the Raptors. Lakers versus the Raptors, I got the Lakers. I don't know. It goes hand in hand.
Depends on who go.
So basically, whoever comes out of the West is going to win the championship.
Yeah.
All right.
That's how it's been for a long time. But, all right, should we ending it?
Yeah, I think that'll be the end of today's video.
All right, well. All right, y'all. I'm Schmidt.
I'm Vaughn.
It's Pop.
And it's SVP Sports. Bang.